Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode. Talking about it allows you to cure yourself. It allows you to process through it. And then so this topic today is when what you want doesn't look like what you have. And what sometimes, beautiful people, we go through life and so many things happen to us that we don't know that. Good morning, beautiful people. Happy Thursday. Good morning, happy Thursday. And thank you so much for joining me for another episode of It's Laconya. So today we enter a whole new month. I am always excited or so excited just to be in the land of the living of a new month. Like it's September, like yay. And that's a big deal because we crossed over, we made it over, right? And that ties into today's topic about happiness. So I'm going to talk a little bit about happiness. Like, what is happiness? How do you know that you're happy? What makes you happy? Would you even know if you're happy? And really looking at if you're unhappy and potentially exploring just a little bit of food for thought. Why? So I'm going to tell you the story, right? So I had a chance to take two 5-year-olds that I love dearly. Oh my goodness, I love these boys. Two 5-year-olds to Disney World. I took them to Disney World and just to have a great time. And I thought it'd be a great idea to, if you've ever been to Disney World or Disney World in Florida, you walk. It's to me, I said, oh, it really is a sort of giant amusement park. Have your cash, have your card. You're going to eat a bunch of deep fried stuff. It's either going to have grease or sugar, and you're going to walk it off. So it balances itself out. So say me. But anyway, I take these 5-year-olds to Disney World because they wanted to go to Florida. Somehow they got this grand idea that they wanted to go to Florida. And well, I was going to be the one to take them. I am their sugar mama. So I was like, sugar mama, gotcha. So we get there and we're walking and I'm thinking, yay! And everybody's happy. And even my partner that I went with, like happy. And here's what happened. As we get there, we were already there. First, in flying, you got to wait and you got to go through the process of flying. And so here comes the complaints. Oh my goodness, the people are slow. The line is long. My feet hurt. The complaining started. And I noticed it. I was like, just going to kind of let it ride. Then we arrive, and the first place that we were scheduled to stay, they said, hey, by the way, we tried to call you. Something happened with, it was a water park establishment that we were going to stay because, kid-friendly, a water park establishment. And who knew, my daggone necklace, sorry, who knew that the water park part of the hotel, it broke. And it had it was just beautiful slides and just all the amenities around. It was absolutely family oriented, absolutely kid friendly, and it was absolutely the belle of the ball. And they said, hey, sorry, Laconya, we tried to reach you, but it's broken. And I said, okay, well, when will it be fixed? Literally the last day of our stay is when their crew would have come out to even begin the repair process. So we couldn't stay there or chose not to stay there. And the complaining started. We're not going to be able, and I'm marking the kids, like, we're not going to be able to do it. And what about the swimming pool? And, oh, man. And so here it is. I'm in Florida. We have the boys, and we're sitting here, and now we need to pull up apps and phones and everything and find another hotel right there on the spot. And so we're going through, and we're like, what about this? And what about this? And proximity. Not a problem. Me? I was just like, wow. It's daytime. We landed safe, and I'm just grateful that we're actually having this moment. And my mind was saying, let the fun begin. I'm like stoked. I'm like, yay, it's Disney. We find a hotel and we go through that. And it was a really lovely hotel. It should have been a first. Well, it was a great hotel. Glad that we ended up there. Anyway, I hear more complaining. We gotta drive. It's too far. How far is it? Oh my goodness, these kids are about to work my nerve. They're five, and I just kept telling myself that. My babies are five. They're five. It's okay. They're five. Like I'm talking to myself to help me to manage their gripes because they're now complaining. So we make it in, we settle in, and it's all fine. And by the time we get to Disney World, they're excited. Like I'm like, yay, happy, happy, happy. Until after about an hour, maybe two of being there, when are we going? When are we leaving? Can we go back to the hotel? I don't want to walk anymore. It's too hot outside. The line is too long. I'm tired. Like all kinds of stuff started coming out. Like when I tell you these boys complained about everything from why is, you know, bugs or whatever flying. The bugs keep flying on me. It's too hot. The bench is too hard. The water's too cold. It was everything. And then it dawned on me as I looked at them, because I was like, listen, we came to have a good time. I'm going to have a good time. I'm literally, I said this. I said, y'all gonna have a good time. Y'all gonna be happy and you gonna like it. Like, and they was just like, huh? Of course they didn't understand. They're five. And here's the point of this. They complained so much that it literally brought down their mood, whether they were aware of it or not. And so I decided to change. I said, boys, every time you say you complain, I want you to turn it around and say thank you. Thank you for the bugs. Like, thank you that you can feel bugs fly on your face. Thank you that when the bug, the gnat, or whatever it was, flew in one child's mouth, that your tongue, your reflexes worked, which was hysterical, by the way, that he could spit it out. Thank you that even though I can't make this up, one of my babies pooped in the pool and the other threw up in the pool. I know, they're five. Thank you that you had to change your clothes, and thank you that we were there to clean you up, and thank you that we were able to get back to the hotel room. Thank you that we had resources to even be able to afford or book a hotel. So the whole time when they say, oh, my feet hurt, oh my goodness, they caught themselves and they turned around and said, thank you, God, that we have feet, or thank you, God, that we have shoes. And they said, Sugar Mama, like that? Are we doing it right? And I said, you're doing it right. And how do you feel? And it was like, we feel better. We feel happy. And I tell you, beautiful people, that it took some training, right? We had to do it all week. It took some training. But by the time it was time to leave, or really before it was time to leave, their whole energy, their whole attitude changed, and they caught themselves and they were happy. And so I'm saying that to say, think about you. You're not happy. And I believe that happiness comes from a place of gratitude. When you start to think about your bigger picture, when you start to think about things in its proper context, and you demonstrate gratitude, you have an appreciation for where you are, even if you were to reflect on where you were. Thank you. And when you have gratitude, it allows you to have a level of contentment which brings about the environment or the atmosphere or the feeling or the cognitive appreciation that I'm happy, I'm content, I'm grateful for the hard time, I'm grateful for the shortcoming, I'm grateful for the setback, I'm grateful for the breakup. I didn't say it didn't hurt. I didn't say it wasn't devastating. I didn't say it didn't cause you to have to change. I didn't say that it wasn't disruptive. But sit for a second and just pause and realize you're here. Thank you. Right? And so, what I try to help the 5 year olds to see, don't know that they have it now, but a seed to be planted is one, having an appreciation for where you are placed. Like that's what I was telling them while we walked around them Disney World and we rode those rides, and eventually they stopped complaining, having an appreciation for where you're placed. And I would just tell them, just stand, just sit, look, you're in Disney World. Like look at everything that you can see. Just have an appreciation for being appropriately placed. And it was like, wow. And before you know it, they started pointing out things. Look at this, sugar mama, look at this. That's my name for my babies. Look at this, look at the third, right? They just started going through it. And in their appreciation for being appropriately placed, they started saying thank you. They started having gratitude. And of course, they don't have the language and the full depth of appreciation of gratitude, but you do. Or at least I hope you do. Or maybe from this podcast, you can begin to develop it. Be appreciating where you are. That's different from forecasting and dreaming for where you want to be. Because in that moment, I started telling them when we come back in 2 years, when you're 7, and then again when you're 9, and then again, it's like, oh. And I said, so every 2 years, when we come back to Disney World, see, that's forward. So it's okay to dream of where you're going. I'm saying on top of dreaming, while you're dreaming where you're going, pause and have an appreciation for where you are. You are appropriately placed. And for that, you say thank you. And for that, you acknowledge and express gratitude because that brings you a level of contentment, which leads to happiness. So I'm not happy. Yeah, probably because you're in the place of complaining. And I'm not saying that your experiences are not worth expressing, right? I'm not saying that all of your experiences don't give give way to some negative emotions, right? I'm saying after you finish that, if you want to change your mood, if you want to change your perspective, if you want to add value and comfort for yourself, just consider gratitude. So while we were flying, there were some hiccups. One of the hiccups were we had to circle, we couldn't land. There were some mix-ups with the tickets. And so we just had to, and it could for some, they were frustrated. They were, what's going on? See, this is why I don't fly this particular carrier. Da 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 da. All of that happened. That was an option. But I chose, and I'm inviting you to choose gratitude. Because here's what I said: thank you that somebody is figuring this out. And thank you that while it's being figured out, we have an opportunity to sit. We're actually not standing. And thank you that, let's say we needed to catch another flight, that there is even another flight as an option. Thank you that while we're having this disruptive or uncomfortable moment, we get to do it together. Thank you that we can go to, I don't know what they had, wherever the place was in the airport, and go and buy some junk food, some chocolate, some candy, peanuts, or get a coffee or whatever to kind of buy the time. So thank you, right? So when you can express gratitude, you will find that it does change your attitude. Attitude meaning your mood changes, your perspective about the very situation that you're encountering changes, and then you can find contentment. It doesn't mean you want to stay there. It doesn't mean you're going to forever stay there. It just means you can find contentment and happiness and some level of peace in the midst of the problem. Like two 5-year-olds walked Disney World, what was it? Animal Kingdom, that particular park. And I feel like we were there for 8 hours. It was a long time. Like they walked it. And I promise you, they were able to get through it because of that fundamental shift. Like I watched them run. They were, I had to keep up with them run. And even for me, the moment that I thought, ooh, because they wanted everything. We want to go here. We want this. Can we have some of this? Can we have some of that? And I'll be honest with you, there was a part that I was like, listen, y'all gonna stop asking for that, right? Sugar mama, say thank you. They learned quick. So I had to change. Thank you. Thank you that we have an option. Thank you that I can hear my my boys ask me for something. Thank you that I get this time, that their parents allowed me the gift of this time with them. Thank you that I'm in my right mind, that I can store this as a meaningful memory. Thank you that my best friend, my partner rode with me. Like, thank you that we laughed at what we looked at, cleaning up poop and vomit and thank you. Like, thank you. Does that make sense? And for me, it was an amazing time. Why? Because in that moment of gratitude is where you find happiness. And so I encourage you, when you are facing a situation, your supervisor may be screaming at you, the class might be hard or difficult, the children might be um, not as responsive or just working your last nerves, your mate, your husband, your wife, whatever, your siblings, you all may be in conflict, there may be something going on. I want you to pause and consider it is possible that you are appropriately placed for you to pause for just a moment and say thank you. Thank you that you are emotionally tuned in and emotionally available, that you can experience the sensation of frustration, that you can experience the sensation of anxiety, that you can experience the frustration of fear or anger. Thank you that you still have emotional space, that life has not made you numb, that you can't experience your own experiences. Thank you. Thank you that you have a mind that you can understand and interpret your own events. Thank you that there are people in your life that you're connected to enough that they can evoke emotion out of you. Thank you that you're not on an island all by yourself without human contact, without human connection. Thank you that there is a problem existing in your life, which means there's a solution coming. Thank you that you've actually lived long enough to experience this season, knowing that you are appropriately placed. Gratitude, beautiful people, is how you get to experience happiness. Happiness means contentment. Happiness means having a proper perspective, knowing that you're in this season, this place, this situation, and in that situation, find find the piece of gold in it. Find the silver lining in it. It always exists. Thank you for COVID-19. Yes, millions, thousands and thousands of people have died, and that part is tragic and heart-wrenching. The world was paused. We had to shut down the world. It impacted the global economy. Thank you for COVID vaccine for those of us who are living it. Hopefully it's changed our perspective about time. It's changed our perspective about money. It's changed our perspective about family and friends, like what really matters. Thank you. For some, it slowed you down. Time out. You're missing your whole life running, chasing a check. Time out. Time out. As they say, slow down, smell the roses or smell the coffee. Thank you for it bringing to forefront our medical geniuses, our scientists who are committed globally to address this problem. Thank you for all of the unsung heroes who showed up and served. Thank you, because what it also showed was the beauty of humanity. Like right when we think that we're so divided as people, as humanity, civility rose up and you saw people giving and showing up in the best part of themselves. So thank you. Thank you for people who sacrificed, right? Thank you for what true love and loyalty looks like. It showed up in sacrifice. We have Afghanistan, we have New Orleans, right? We have Haiti. We have still here the United States. And in those horrible situations, we see the best of humanity. People are sacrificing. People are showing up. We see people putting it on a line to serve their fellow human being. Thank you is how you find happiness, by knowing that you are appropriately placed and having gratitude in where you are and you find your silver lining. So Disney World ended. We made it back. I'm here. And maybe a couple of weeks out, maybe not even long out, I asked one of my 5-year-olds, I said, hey, did you have a good time at Disney World? What was your best time? And bless his heart, Josiah, I love that child. He said, Sugar Mama, it was kind of boring. I said, what? Wait a minute, wait. We went to Disney World and we went to Legoland. Like we did both. Like, and he said, it was kind of boring. I'm like, wait a minute. And I said, how? Why did you say it was boring? Remember we rode this and remember we saw, I don't know, Snoopy, Donald Duck, I don't know who the people are. Remember the water ride and the water, and I'm trying to give give him his memory because I had a good time. I had a good time. And remember you pooped in the pool? Like and his memory was when he put on a life vest and he was able to jump in the pool and swim, or his version of swimming. So the whole amusement park part, it was lost on him. And in that moment, as I looked in his eyes, I said, thank you. I said, did the pool part make you happy? He said, yeah, I like the pool. I want to swim in a pool in Florida. And I said, well, we were in Florida. He said, oh. I said, you didn't know you were in Florida? He was like, no. He liked the pool park. Can he go back to Florida? And I said, we'll go back to Florida. But you had a good time in the pool. Thank you. Thank you. And I took away, I was like, no. I was like, no, you know what? I remember. And that's enough. And so thank you. I was thankful that I got to spend the time with him. Thankful that he remembers swimming. I'm older, of course, just by a couple years, but I remember the whole thing in its totality. Thank you that I got to have that conversation with him and hear what he registered. So thank you. And it's okay that this stuff that we bought, I don't know where it is. Didn't have any value to it aside from the moment of them getting it, being able to go into the gift shop and buy that stuff. I didn't see it when we got back. I don't even know if I saw it on a plane, and I've never seen it since. But thank you that I got to witness that. Thank you that I got to experience that. Thank you that I had an opportunity to serve. And so I offer that to you. You can be happy when you recognize that you are appropriately placed and there is a silver lining. There is gold at the end of that rainbow, and it is your position of being appropriately placed, saying thank you, being grateful, because in that moment, you have an opportunity to serve. You have an opportunity to reflect. You have an opportunity to change the perspective or develop a new perspective that serves you. So every opportunity, you can be happy. I just want you to consider that, right? Just consider it. Consider it. When you are tempted to complain, I want you to try this until next time. When you're tempted to complain, I can't stand this. It is, oh my God, it's so hot out here. Pause. That you are appropriately placed to feel the sun on your skin, that you're alive, that you live in a climate, you live on this part of planet Earth, that you actually can experience the sun. Thank you. Thank you that you may have an option to go and cool down if it is too hot for you. Thank you. So every time that you are tempted to complain and discount your experiences, I want you to say thank you, because in those hard times, in those off times, in those disruptive times, in those painful times, in those dark times, believe you me, there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. There's always gold at the end of that rainbow. There is always a reason to be grateful. So say thank you, because you are appropriately placed. That's the key to happiness. It's gratitude. Beautiful people. I'll see you on the other side. Bye bye. Talking about it allows you to cure yourself. It allows you to process through it. And then from there, from